Hey guys, so in today's video, I'm going to be doing a French set on myself. I call it a set, but I literally only did one hand, but you know, we're going to go with it. So right here, I'm just pushing back my cuticles, getting all that dead skin off my nail plate. And then I'm going to be going in with my cuticle nippers and just removing that extra skin. You want to be really careful with this step. Just remove whatever it's necessary. If there's nothing to remove, don't remove it because you run the risk of cutting yourself or cutting your client, and we do not want to do that. So in the next step, you're going to see me going in with my sanding band. It's a fine sanding band, and I'm just removing the shine off my nail plate. Some nails I do go a little bit more, and that's just because I have leftover acrylic that I want to remove. And then right here, I'm just going in with my ball bit, and that's just to remove anything that I missed with my cuticle nippers, just because I didn't want to get too close to my nail. And then here I'm just wiping off of the excess dust so I can get ready for my forms and my protein bond. And then for the forms, I'm going to be using the Young Nails forms. These are honestly my favorite. I do want to try other ones, but for right now, I love these so much. And I feel like if you want to get into forms, definitely try these because they're great. So for right here, I'm going in with my protein bond from Young Nails. Honestly, this is the freaking best. I have tried the Mia Secret and I forgot some other ones. Honestly, this gives me no lifting. And I do 2 coats even though you don't see it in the video. So I do 1 coat, give it a minute, usually do my other hand, and then go in with the second coat, and promise you will get like 0 lifting. So then here I'm going in with Mia Secrets and Glam & Glitz monomer, and I'm just building out the nail. I was having a really hard time building these nails just because in my room it was super hot. So even though I picked up like a wet bead, they were just drying so fast. So some of the nails, or some of the like forms that I built out, came out a little bit thicker than I wanted to. It was a whole lot of trial and error, but I made it work. So you know, you always gotta trust the process and figure out how to like not spend so much time on like a certain step and just like fix it if you can fix it later, which is what I did, and you'll see. And then also I'm using the Young Nails acrylic brush. It's not my favorite, but I wanted to give it a try, and you'll notice throughout the video I do go through like 3 different brushes, and that's just me, you know, trying to see what works with the conditions that I was working with. But yeah, so I'm just building out the nails here, and then I'll come back in the next step. And then also I did want to mention, generally when you are building like the tip, you want to do it pretty thin, but like I said, I was having a hard time with the temperature in the room. You know, acrylic sets faster in the heat, but yeah, generally you do want your tips to be thin, almost like the nail, or like if you were using an actual tip. But yeah, just keep that in mind. So if you do see that some of them are a little bit thicker, it's because my beads were drying out on me. But you know, you gotta make do with what you got. And then for the next clip that you're gonna see, I did file and shape a little bit so that the tips were like kind of like how I want them to be. Like I said, I did build them thick, so I just had to thin them out before I added even more acrylic on top. So then here I'm literally just picking what color I want like the skin tone to be of my French. The one on the left is a color that I made that I love so much. The one on the right, I think it's like Pink Blush by Mia Secret, and then that one's the Multi Nude by Mia Secret. So left, multi nude, middle, color that I made, and then right, is the Baby Blush by Mia Secret. I did end up going with the color that I made because it's my favorite and it's literally a whole bunch of stuff mixed together. So yeah, I just wanted to get like the perfect nude for me. So yeah. And then here you can kind of see I'm just building out the shape of the French that I want. It's not perfect, but I am gonna go and file. And I was having, again, a really hard time with the temperature. So I tried doing like 1 bead, I tried doing 2 beads, and just kind of seeing what worked for me. Honestly, the 1 bead worked better if I got it a little bit more liquidy, but it was honestly just trial and error. And then all that gets fixed when you file. So as long as you get like the bases, then you should be good. So once my acrylic has set, I'm going in with my 100 grit again, and I'm just carving out the edges, making sure that my smile line is straight. I don't want any lumps or bumps. I don't want it to be like uneven, and I want it to point like down the middle. So when you're looking at the nail, it looks like if it was your natural nail. And then I'm gonna be going over the top because I find that I can gauge the smile line better and see if I need to file more because I have like an even ledge. Not everybody does it, but I find that it helps for me. And then right here, I'm just gonna be mixing the green that I want. So I'm taking Honeydew from iGel and putting it into my monomer. I thought it was gonna give me the color that I wanted, but it definitely didn't. And then here I'm just trying to test it with Clear from Mia Secret, and then the next one is gonna be Speed White from Young Nails. And I didn't like how any of those looked, so I'm going in with another green that I forgot the name of, but I'll list it below. And then this is a green from Beetles. I put a lot just because I wanted it to be very pigmented. I was looking for a specific green, a little bit more than like a sage, and then here I'm just testing it out with the white and the clear to see which one I like better. I ended up going in with the clear, but you'll see that in a second. So right here I'm gonna start with my application. Honestly, this is the messiest application I've done for a French, but I literally keep saying this throughout this whole video. My acrylic was drying so fast. Like, if you've ever tried Speed anything from Young Nails like that, but honestly, I feel like 5 times worse. It was just super, super hard to work with. So my application wasn't that great, and I made the nails really bulky, but I rather them be bulky than thin because I can always thin them out. Obviously, if I was working on a client, I would try not to because I'm trying, you want to work on your speed. But since it was just myself, it was fine. And then I was gonna do them super basic, just all green. But last minute, I decided to do the middle finger like a half. So I did half of the white mixed with the green monomer, and then half of it with the clear monomer. And it just gave it like a little bit of a different color. I really, really wish I would have cut it or like shaped it more, but I didn't. So I'm going in with my 100 grit file. I usually file before I do, like I usually hand file before I do e-file, but since I did these too bulky, I kind of switched halfway and was like, no, I'm gonna e-file first. So that's what you see here. And then I'm just going over the cuticles, taking all the bulk down so you can see that pretty French. And then doing a little bit of the sides just so I can get a feel for what the shape is gonna look like, which is usually why I like to hand file first. But honestly, I'm not that great at almond shapes, or at least I don't think I am. So it was really hard for me to envision the shape. So that's why I had to kind of go in with the e-file just so that I can lower down the bulk and make it easier for me to see what the final product will look like. So I'm just going to be doing that for a little bit, and then I'll come back when I start hand filing again. So after I e-filed, I'm just going in with my 100 grit hand file, and I'm just perfecting my shape and then getting any of the bulk or unevenness that I may have created with my e-file. My bits are kind of old, so you know they're not the best right now, but I ordered some new ones. But yeah, I'm just perfecting my shape to make sure that I get that perfect almond shape, or at least as close to perfect as I can. I still do have some bulk that I have to remove, but you'll see how I do that in a minute. Yeah, I keep saying a lot, but it's okay. Now that I'm done with my hand file, I'm gonna go in with like this kind of like a flame bit and just go under, and what I'm doing is just removing the bulk that I had created while I was building the tip. Like I said earlier, I didn't want to waste too much time with it at the beginning, so I'm just going at the end and just removing it from the bottom, because the shape that I have at the top, I liked. My nails were honestly built pretty perfect, so I'm just going in at the bottom to remove what I don't want, and then I'm using this skinnier bit to just get in deeper, closer to the nail. And then of course you don't want to go too far because you're gonna hurt yourself, but you know, just like enough so you do remove the excess. And then I was just going really quick around my cuticles, not necessary, but I was already using the bit, so I was like, might as well. And then here I'm just buffing to get any of the scratches. I usually don't buff before I do top coat, but I don't know, I just decided to do it today. But I'm not buffing too much because you still do want a little bit of a rougher surface for the gel polish. I find that it lasts longer, but to each their own. So after I'm done wiping the nails, I'm gonna go in with my top coat. The top coat I'm using is from Beetles. Not my favorite. I like the Young Nails one, either the stain resistant or just the ultimate finish one, I think is what it's called. So once I'm done applying that, I'm just gonna cure it in my light for 60 seconds. And then after this, I will be applying my cuticle oil, and it's gonna be the Young Nails, I think it's the rose oil. It's actually pretty good. I've tried a few other ones, but this one's honestly my favorite so far. But yeah guys, I really hope you enjoyed this video. It was my first one, and yeah, I'm gonna be filming so many more, so y'all better be ready, because this one was just the first one to break the ice, and then the other ones are gonna be even better, and they won't be on myself. But yeah guys, thanks. So just make sure to subscribe. Bye.